Hi, Soul Family. It's, I'm just a couple seconds late. And I've got so much to say, I'm hoping that I can remember all of this. I don't know how many people are there. I don't see Sandy has gotten my message, and she's generally my secretary, but that's okay. I'm just going to talk right now first. I told everybody that I would show you. Actually, you know what? I'm going to wait a couple seconds and let people get on. Hi. I'll wait a couple seconds and see who can get live, because I don't want to have to repeat, right? Hold on, let me look and see if... Happy full moon. Ow! Hi, Gina. So how many saw the full moon last night? That was freaking incredible. I watched the eclipse happen, and it was amazing. It was beautiful. I haven't watched an eclipse since I was in 6th grade. Hi. It was amazing. I haven't taken my vitamins. I've got a headache. I haven't even got my rings all on yet. I don't have my necklaces chosen. And that's a message that means something. You can't hear? Okay, that's no problem. You'll be home in a few minutes. That's cool. I think I'm putting on this one. Driving. That's cool. Okay. Hey, early. Funny. Hi. Okay, I'm just going to go like, I'm not going to worry about who's there and who's not there. I'm just going to tell a story. So I went to see the motorhome. I told everybody that I would go see the motorhome, right? And I would keep you all abreast of what was going on because you're helping me do this. So I get up there, and all the way up there I was getting messages. As you know, hold on, I'm answering people that are talking to me right now. I videotaped as I was going up, and you guys saw that. So, shoot. There. Okay. And, I got signs all the way up there, too. And after I hung up the phone from you guys, I got a message that was... I gotta turn the radio down. I'm sorry. It's annoying. It's too loud. All the single ladies. Shit, I can't reach it. I can't reach it to turn it down. I think everyone's supposed to hear this. You know what? You should have put a ring on it if you liked it that much. You decided to dip, and now you want to trip, and another guy notices me. That is actually part of this whole story. That's part of this whole story. You can hear now? Cool. Okay. So as I'm driving up, right, I'm getting all those messages. I'm all excited about it. And remember, we saw the pictures. I put the pictures on, and I showed you guys, right, the pictures. And... after I hung up from you guys, I got a message, and I thought, you know, everything. Remember how I told you that everything that we're going through is happening in order to prepare us for what we've asked for, right? And sometimes we think we're going in a direction, or we think we're going to do something because we've got something in mind. We have a plan, right? We've got this box called our brain, and our brain says this is what's going on, and Spirit says, go ahead. Remember the Helka? I talked about the Helka and how the Helka trickster tricks you into doing something that your soul wants you to do. But also, the last thing I think I said when I spoke to you guys was I said journey. It's all part of the journey, right? I saw a white car and it said journey. So, and other things happen along the way. Other things happen along our journey when we're trying to get to our destination. So... I saw that. Then I hang up from you guys, and what I see is a moving truck, a short box truck. Now, I've been thinking about a step van, because a step van, it's like a big box, right? And you can just put anything you want in it, which is what I want to do. And I had that rolling around the back of my head, because remember, Spirit says, keep an open heart, open mind. We know what you want, right? And it's getting closer, and it's getting closer, but... When I put my offer in for the van, for that motorhome, and I hadn't heard back from her, I thought, well, I'm just going to keep looking, right? I'm just going to keep my heart open, because Spirit says, keep your heart and mind open. So I was looking at, and I started talking to my landlord about that. So what happens then? I shoot out a rocket of desire, right? Or an intention into the universe. This is another thing she's thinking she might consider. A step van. Why? Because it's a big box, and I can put my furniture in there, because motorhomes have things set up the way they think campers want them, right? And even other little tiny homes that have been done, or like the school bus conversions that have been done, they've been done to the way those people want it. And I've been watching this couple, this young couple. Now, they're young, and he went out and bought all the tools, and he's a handyman. I'm not, right? And she's just kind of like, she did the layouts, and then she did stuff too, but they created it the way they wanted to create it. So I'm looking at these box fans, and I found this one. It's pretty inexpensive, and it's really clean. And the sides are clean, and the sides are straight. Now, you always want to look at things, you know, are the sides straight, right? Are the walls straight? Is there an issue with that? So what drives by me right before I get to this place to see the truck, or the camper, is, oh God, you guys, there's so much more here. I didn't see you guys. I'm sorry. Hi. Let me just say hi quickly. Hi. No, I don't want to tag my best friend. I am not my best friend. They always say, hi, Holly. They always say, do you want to tag Diane Rockwell? Because they think my face is Diane Rockwell. No, it's not. It's my bestie, but it's not me. That's a message to me. Keep that in mind. Somebody always thinks my bestie is me. Okay, so I go and I'm driving along, and I see this moving truck, and it's a box truck, and on the side of it was a Venus flytrap. So a Venus flytrap made me bring to mind, and this is the deck we're going to be working with today, because this is the weekly reading as well as a soul family meetup. And I took this deck up, Oracle of Shadows and Light, and I took my homemade cards, my deck, and I took the Healing Angel cards that I always use. These are the 3 decks that I took, right? My intention was to do a reading for you guys, right, when I got there. So I see this Venus flytrap, and it makes me think of the narcissistic fairy. Remember, and I'm curious to see what comes up for us all today. Ooh, the first thing I got was Death and the Maiden, somebody encroaching on somebody else's boundaries. Okay, so I will show you. I'm going to lay down the cards that came out last night. It was incredible, because I did do a reading up there, but I did the reading for them. It was intense. Spirit had something in mind, and it was not for me to see that van, it was, but it was for me to talk to them. They needed Spirit's guidance. It was a trip. But anyway, I see the Venus flytrap, and what comes to mind is this, the narcissistic fairy. This is something that's beautiful on the outside, but inside it's a man-eater. On the inside, it fucking rips you up. It'll tear out your heart. It doesn't want you for who you are. It wants your money. It wants attention. It's a narcissistic asshole. It's either a company, a business, a belief system, or a person, right? Or a group of people, whatever it is. They're great when you do what you want, when they want you to do. But when you don't do what they want you to do, they become vicious and nasty, and they're control freaks. They'll be charming, and they'll be beautiful, and they'll be loving, and they'll flirt, and they'll be all these other things. But when they don't get what they want, they're fucking assholes. Okay? So I saw that, and I thought, something beautiful on the outside that's ugly on the inside. So that was already on my head. When I drove up to the camper, the first thing I saw was, wow, it's a lot older on the outside than the pictures look like. Why? Because the picture was taken back from in the shadows. Right? It was. If you remember the picture I posted up, I should show you guys. And I'm not saying that they did anything. I really like these people. I really did. And I got so many messages out of this couple that I can't even tell you. But I drove up, and I thought, okay, this is definitely an older van. And the thing is, you know, if somebody wants to sell something, they really should show it for what it is, because you're going to see it anyway, right? Don't try. It's the same thing in a relationship. If you want to sell me on who you are, show me your flaws. Show me. Say, you know what? There's this, there's this, there's this. And this can be done, and this can be done, and I'm working on this, and I can repair that for you, and I'm working on this myself, right? It's the same thing as in a relationship. Don't show yourself as this outside facade, and then inside you're all fucked up, and you've got all these things, and you've got all these hang-ups, and you've got jealousy issues, and you're an alcoholic, and you're a drug addict, and you've got all these things. There's a lot of people that I know that are alcoholics that are clean sober 5 years. One's only clean a year. One's just been clean 6 months. One's been clean 2 weeks. The point is, don't try to pretend and don't try to hide who you are from people. They're going to find out, right? And if somebody is trying to hide from you, why are they hiding? Now, my twin came forward in my dream 5 years ago. I saw him come back, and he said, I was hiding from you, but I wasn't hiding anything from you. I needed to know that you loved me for who I was, not for what I had. Okay, so there's a difference. I'm not going to pin this on my twin, but I am going to tell you that this is what my first message that I got. So I get out, and I go around, and I videotaped it. I put it up for you guys to see. So funny, the comments are like, run! First thing I noticed was the walls. The walls were wavy, right? And it's a vinyl sided. It wasn't it's not like an aluminum trailer. It's a vinyl sided trailer. And they're all wavy. So why is it wavy? Well, there was a roof damage before. And with the roof damage, the water came in, and it damaged it got between what it did was it got between the walls and the vinyl coating in it pulled it away, so it's wavy. She told me, and there's a dent on the back. There was a dent on the back right corner, right? I dented the back right corner of my car. And I said that when I went to advertise it. I could have taken a picture of it from the one side and not said anything, but when they come up, they're going to see it anyway, right? What's the point? Tell it. So it was wrapped in white tape. And then there was one spot over the wheel well that had broken away, and I pulled it away. You could see it, and there was wood that was damaged. And I said, what happened here? And he said, that's when there was roof damage before the other people got it. There was a leak in the top, and they repaired it. Since we've had it, they haven't had it for years, like I assumed. Now remember, I said that I wanted this vehicle, and this vehicle could represent a person, because this person or this vehicle had clearly been loved by someone, very loved, right? It was their baby. And what I found out was they hadn't had this baby that long. This baby had only come to them for the last 2 years. It had been in Connecticut, where the people had come over from Europe. Now think about this as far as family relationships, okay? Family comes over from Europe. They land back east. There's damage. Water damage is a motion, rain, a storm that went through, right? It caused a problem. It broke. So somebody has gone back east. Somebody's gone back east. Something has gone wrong. Major waterworks. Their emotions are flooded. There was damage, but they repaired it. They repaired that damage, but it left the walls kind of wobbly. So think about a person, right? This person went back east. Something happened. They were damaged. They repaired themselves. They got themselves back together, but they're still a little wavy. Their walls are a little wavy, and there's a little bit of rot right down there, which you can repair. It's not a big deal. The thing goes like a beast, right? That's what she said. So I said, can we take it for a drive? First of all, I go inside, and there's the things that were inside that were a problem. They're not a problem. They're not really a problem. There's regular wear and tear. And you think about going into and starting from a shell, right? You're gonna have to build it all out. You're gonna have to fix it all, right? You're gonna have to build the boxes. You're gonna have to shiplap everything. You're gonna have to drywall it all. I'm talking about a person, and I'm talking about my camper. So I'm looking at all the things that are inside. There's no latch on this door. There's no latch on this door. It keeps falling down. They taped it shut. It's not a big deal. It needs to be sanded. It needs to have a new little latch put on. There's all these little things that need to be done, right? But they add up. But there's a little things. It's are you aware of the things that are there, and are you willing to put in the time to do that? I personally am a project girl. I don't have a problem with that, right? But Spirit showed me yesterday that I'm also somebody who is so giving of myself. And I just saw the Red Hawk fly by. I swear to God, she's right here. If she comes forward, I'll show you guys. So this is me. I sacrifice myself, even for my work. This is what I do. I work with people who have problems. They come to me, right? But that's why Spirit chose me for this path, because I'm an empath. So I would go into that, and I would lovingly fix it all up, because it mattered to me, right? Just like if I chose a person who's gone back east, and they've had a problem, and everything caved in on them, and they got water soaked, and their roof caved in, right? Their mind, they had a breakdown, and they got water damage. They repaired their roof, but they're kind of wobbly on the sides, and there's going to be some repair work necessary to go into this relationship, right? To this person. This person needs love and healing, right? Do you have that in you? Do you have the compassion and the understanding and the patience and the diligence and the stick-to-itiveness and the endurance to work with this situation? Hey, sweets. That's okay. You can rewind. You can listen to it later. I'm going to record it. Also, I'm going to stop at 1 hour, because I know that we're going to run over, and I'm going to come back again. So there's going to be 2 parts, because I don't want to lose this. I want to be able to share it to YouTube, because I've got a lot of people that watch. So are you willing to go the distance is the med. Oh my God, I looked up and saw Ed Sharma, and I literally heard Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran is listening. What's the song? Okay, the song that's playing right now is Rehab by what's her name? You know the girl, that Amy Winehouse? And remember I said when I got rid of the whiner, that's the Amy. Amy is my grandma. Amy is one of the twins, Amy Fuete, and her sister Sarah. Amy represents my twin, and I represent, or me, I represent Amy. I can't remember. But I said I got rid of the whiner. Somebody's a whiner. Amy Winehouse, right? Whiner. She is, she was an addict, right? So she's saying, I don't want to go into rehab, because if I do, I'll lose my baby. She'll go. If I have to go and I'm gone, I'm going to lose her. Someone else is going to grab her, right? Or my dad says there's nothing wrong with me. No, your dad says that because your dad's a fucking alcoholic too. He doesn't have a problem with that. You need to go to rehab, right? So is somebody going to wait while you go to rehab? Is somebody going to go through this with you? Is somebody going to put the time and energy in and recognize you're somebody who has addiction issues? We all have addiction issues, P.S. We all have addiction issues. They're just different. Some people are addicted to shoes. Some people are addicted to work. Some people are addicted to alcohol. Yes, alcohol and drugs are going to be more damaging, you would think. But some people are addicted to shopping. And that could put somebody in the fucking hole, right? Some people are addicted to sex. I am connecting to someone who's addicted to sex, somebody in my past. I've been watching it. You guys know about that. So here's it is. What you want to do is you want to lay it on the table and you want to say, this is what we got. If this is something that you're willing to put the time and energy into, you can get it at a reduced price. Now, when I was standing up there talking to this couple, he said to me, if you give me the cash now, you can have it for $4,200, right? Knowing that I'm going to have to put the money into it to repair this, that, or the other. So I'm going around and I'm looking inside and there's things that I really liked about it. A lot that I really liked about it. A lot. And the inside was completely clean. Now, it has been pouring rain here. I don't know if anybody lives in California that's watching, but it's been torrential raining here. If that camper was leaking, it would have been somewhere inside. They wouldn't have been able to hide it from me because of the mattresses and there was no leakage inside. So they're not lying to me. They showed me that there was leakage. I did have damage. I did have a breakdown. My walls are wavy, and there's a little bit of rot in this one back corner, but we put a lot of work in, and they put a lot of work in. They put a brand new roof on it. There is no leaks. There was a vent at the top that needed to be a ceiling thing. They taped it. They showed me that. I saw that. I climbed up right away. I'm not somebody who's going to go in to buy something without freaking looking at it, okay? You look at the side of the car. The generator is on the side of the car. The cover's not there. You got to get a new cover. There's little bolts that are missing. The whole vinyl side is wobbly from, and I pressed on it. I pressed on the walls on the inside. There were no muddy spots. So there isn't rot inside, but it did delaminate. I watched a video last night on YouTube where you can go in and how you get the sealant and how they stick it into the walls and how they reseal it back together when there has been delamination. There's delamination on brand new vehicles, meaning there are young people that have had breakdowns. There are young people that have had addiction issues that have had a breakdown, right? That can be resealed. It takes a little work. It takes patience. It takes your time and your willingness to do this, right? So this is everything that I'm going through is showing me, preparing me for what I asked for. I know who I asked for. I know what the issues are. I already have been shown, but there's more that's coming. So he can't start the generator up, which is a sucky thing for him, right? And she's like, shit, it just worked, right? And it's kind of rough, right? Started it up, but it started up. There's a lot of gas smell from it. I wouldn't even want to run it. It smells horrible. And I said, can we take it for a ride? So I get in it, I get in this rig, and first of all, it's not as big as I thought it was, which is another message. When you're looking at someone and you see them tall, they're spiritually advanced, right? They're in an elevated position. Doesn't mean they're better than anyone else. They're just more spiritually aware, right? They're more on their path. Well, 5 years ago when I was walking with my twin through the Rainforest Cafe, hi Tom, I saw two children sitting on high tables. So what I saw was what I looked at, I thought were elevated or were awake, both of us. They weren't. They were kids. We were still young. We were sitting on high tables. We looked like we were more higher than we were, but we weren't. Hi, Uncle Phil. That's my Uncle Phil, you guys. Say hi to my Uncle Phil. So where am I going to go back to? Okay, so the song right now, Mirrors, is playing. So I assumed that this person was tall, right? So they weren't as tall as they weren't as spiritually advanced as I thought, or they weren't as strong and steady as I thought. Hi! Hi! Did it work? Hey, Uncle Phil! I don't want to leave that on the whole time because I think it's really annoying when you guys can't see my face. but there is one on here. Sorry. Okay, we'll do this. So basically, I'm walking around this place and I'm looking at the van and I'm looking at the motorhome, and it's telling me, it's reminding me, this is what you asked for. You need to know everything that you're asking for. Everything you're going through is preparing you. So me going to look at that van is showing me this person that you have these feelings for, this person that you are connected to, the song that's playing. My mirror has had an emotional issue. It happened when he went back east. It hurt him really bad. He had a breakdown. He's figured it out. He's straightened it out. This could be me, right? Too, all of us. But it left things a little wobbly. There's a little rot. Are you willing to put in the, whatever needs to happen to work on this? Okay. So I go through the whole thing and I'm thinking about all this stuff and I'm considering. So we get in the car and we go for a drive. And I say to her, what do we call it? Does it have a name? And she called it Thelma. Now remember Thelma and Louise? I laughed my ass off. If anybody knows me, right? If anybody knows me, I'm like, this is me. Let's go. Let's go. Let's take this fucker and drive it off a cliff. Drive it off a cliff, right? Ooh. So we go for a drive and the brakes are spongy. Now, the brakes may not have been as spongy as just the fact that I don't know how to drive a motorhome. I've never driven a motorhome. It was not as long as I thought it was, right? Meaning the person that I thought wasn't as tall as I thought, and I could maneuver it a lot more easily than I thought. It wasn't as difficult as I thought. So I'm driving down the road, and I go to make a turn thinking I'm driving my car, right? I'm not. I'm driving a 26-foot motorhome, and I get to the corner, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta turn. I don't have enough time to turn, so I kind of like stop in the corner, which is where I'm at right now. Remember, Spirit says we want you to reconsider something. We want you to think about something. So I stopped and I let all the other cars go by. This is me thinking, right? I'm going to let all the other cars go by me. I've got 3 different men that are hitting on. Well, I've got more, but I've got 3 serious men hitting on me. I'm letting them go by. I'm considering something right now. I'm letting you go by, right? So then I back up and I go to hit the freeway. We went up a really steep hill, like a super steep hill, and I was going 35 up the hill. I could have floored it, but I was comfortably going 35 up this really, really steep grade, almost like the grapevine, right? And then we hit the freeway. It was going 80 down the freeway, no problem. Just whoop down the freeway, and we were on a little bit of an incline, not a lot. High. So what happens? I take the exit, the off-ramp, right? And I'm whipping along. I'm going like 65 miles an hour because I'm thinking I'm driving my fucking car. Now, this is another message. I'm moving along, right, with my spiritual twin, this person that I'm connected to, and I'm driving along really fast because I'm used to driving my little car that can go quick. I'm not used to driving a car that's so much heavier, that's got this weight that they're carrying with them, this baggage that they're carrying, and the fact that it's, it's a little rickety on its wheels right now, right? I got to take it a little slower. Don't go so fast, Sherry. So I'm going, and remember, too overwhelmed. We kept getting overwhelmed. Too aggressive, slow down. It was me. I'm driving that vehicle fast, and it's too aggressive. You need to slow down. This person's been through a lot. They've had the shit kicked out of them, right? They're just trying to get themselves back on the ground. Slow down. Don't be so hard on them. So I'm driving off this ramp, and I realize, holy shit, I need to turn, and I'm going way too fast to turn this fucker. I'm almost ready to launch off the freaking overpass, Thelma and Louise. Let's go launch this motherfucker, this mother trucker. Remember I said? That's me. That's what I was doing. Oh my God. And my friend that's in I liked her. She's my friend. My friend that's in the seat next to me is going, okay, so you got to slow down here. So you got to slow down here. I'm like, fuck. I put my feet on the brakes, right? And I turn, and I'm yanking this sucker, yanking the wheel. Hi. And the car behind me, I went into the oncoming traffic. I'm like, dude, you got to slow down. And he's like, fuck, she's got this big rig. I'm not going to fight with her, right? So I kind of went into the other lane so that I could make the turn. Hi, Barbara. And I get there, and I look over at her, and I go, sorry about that. And she goes, no, it's all good. And I said, that guy behind me is going to fucking lose his shit because of the way I'm driving. And she goes, no, it's okay. We're fine. We're good. She was so calm, right? Super calm. So I turn around, and we go back, and we're going down the freeway going 80 miles an hour, right? And I get back there, and now when I got there, I noticed that the man who owns the husband, he had really super white teeth. His teeth were bonded. They weren't real teeth, right? And he looked kind of Asian to me, and so did she. Asian means hardworking, meticulous, don't show their feelings very much. I'm just giving all different, you know, dream analysis. But I said to her, what nationality is your husband? And she said, he's Indian. And I said, oh, that's interesting. And I said, you have that similar look. So they look alike, okay? You're going to understand what's going on here. It's a trip. And I said, what? I said, that's interesting. My spiritual twin is Indian. He's Cherokee. And she said, my husband's Cherokee. And I said, wow. And then we get back, and I said, you kind of look alike. And my twin and I have the same facial features, right? We have the same eyes. We have the same, we do. And makes sense, right? We're twins. So we get back, and that's when he said to me, you can have it for 3,000 or 4,042. And I said, no, 4,300. You can have it for 4,300. My twin is 43, okay? He's turning 44 pretty soon, but right now he's 43. So I said, well, I'm just looking at it right now. You know, I'm just looking at it. And I told your wife I don't have the money in hand. I don't have the cash. If I decide I want it, I'll come back, and I'll take it to a mechanic and have it checked, right? So he's cool with that. And I said to her, you know what I do? I told her what I did. And she goes, oh, that's really cool. And I said, I was wondering if I could do a reading. I wanted to do a reading in here and feel the energy. You know, I said, because the reason I came here, I will tell you, even though I didn't have the money and I couldn't get it for like another week, I felt really good energy from this motorhome. It felt really good. Now, I couldn't get there. I didn't have the money. I wasn't able to get it yet. I wasn't able to acquire it yet, but I felt this energy from this motorhome. Now, the vehicle is how we travel forward in life, right? That motorhome, home is where your heart is. I'm talking about my twin. I felt the energy of this place, or I felt the energy between us, right? This home feels good. This energy between us feels good. Song right now, hello from the other side, can we talk? So I said I would like to do a reading, and she says, okay. She didn't understand that I was going to do it live with you guys. She wanted to do it with me. She was so excited. And she told her husband, and he had these kids running around, you know, 2 little kids running around and on scooters, and a friend that was over visiting. And a friend that was over visiting was named Jacob. And I'm just like, wow. Wow. And so I said, and he wanted to go, right? He wanted to get something to eat. He was kind of anxious. He says, come on, we got to go get it. And I could tell he was feeling anxious. So I said, you know what, I don't need to do this. And she goes, no, it's fine, it's fine. And she kept saying, don't worry about him. And she's like, honey, it's fine. We don't have to be there until blah, blah, blah. Jacob, go ask your mom if you can spend the night, or if so-and-so can go over and spend the night. So who I'm watching is my twin's family, okay? And what's interesting is I dream with my twin's mother all the time, all the time. And it's also aspects of us, right? Aspects of his grandmother I dream with. I dream with him. I dream with his best friend because I dream with him. So I'm in that energy. So it's just like I dream with my mama Sherry and my uncle Phil and their son Troy, and I dream with Alexa. We dream with the ones that we are connected to energetically. I dream with my soul family. Sandy and I dream together. I've dreamed with my friend Erica. Okay? So all of these people are aspects of people in my life. Why? Because everything that I'm asking for is everything I'm going through and shown is to prepare me for what I'm asking for. It's giving me the background, the family background, the aunts and the uncles, the cousins, the moms, the dads, the brothers, and ourselves, okay? So it doesn't mean that my twin is an alcoholic and had a nervous breakdown, or a drug addict and had a nervous breakdown. It could be his brother, it could be his uncle, it could be his grandfather, it could be his dad, right? But it's showing me situations. So, and I have this empathetic heart that wants to do this work and wants to help, which is what my twin wants to do. Okay, wait till you hear this story. It's crazy. So I sit down, and it's clear that she wants to do this with me. And I said, okay, you know what? And that he wants to go. So she's more open than he is, which shows me the man in the family is not as open, or the husband, as the wife is. Now, it could be reversed because it's the feminine and the masculine energy, right? And I said, I'm going to do, so I said to him, I wanted to do a reading inside the van. This is what I do. And he says, oh, you better get the sage out. And I said, actually, they call me the Queen of Wands. And I said, I make ceremonial sage wands. You know, I said, I pick the sage, the California white sage. I wrap it. I'm a Reiki master. I charge the crystals. And I said, I sell the Queen of Wands sage wands. And I said, so I think if you have any sage, we should probably get it out and sage this motherfucker. And he laughs. It kind of lightens the energy up, right? I'm swearing like this on purpose. I hope you understand that when I talk with people and I do readings and I have an everyday conversation, I don't normally always talk this way. Uncle Phil knows I will, right? But I'm doing this on purpose. I'm doing this on purpose because there are people watching that talk like this and it makes them feel comfortable. And I'm able to adapt to whatever environment. I can be very classy and ladylike, and I can swear just like the rest of you. I can sit back and kick back with a cider and swear and wear my Pendleton jacket and hang, and I got no problem with that. I'm very comfortable with that. Or I can be in a higher society, more elegant. So if you wonder, you know, it's why I'm being all funky like this. So he starts to relax a little bit, right? I swore a little bit, and I said, I don't want to swear in front of your kids. And she goes, oh, don't worry about that, right? And I'm just like, no, I don't like to swear in front of kids. So anyway, but basically I was being real with them, and he started to relax. He started to get more comfortable with me. And at first he was kind of standoffish, and so I pulled out the deck, and I said, okay, so the first messages that I got, I'm going to show you guys. I lost your video feed, damn it. Oh, it'll come back, Uncle Phil. So the first message I got was, actually it wasn't Fairy of the Highland, it was Voodoo in Blue, okay? And it was him. It was his energy. And so this is, you guys know what Voodoo in Blue is, right? Voodoo in Blue is somebody is crossing my boundaries, somebody's pushing my buttons, and I'm not liking them. So I held it up to him and I said, this is you, to me. I get that. I'm crossing your boundaries, you don't like it, you're not appreciating it, you're wanting me to go. And I said, I'll go. I understand, I totally respect that. You know, you're just showing a vehicle, you're hungry, and who am I in your life? And his wife said, no, I think we need to hear this. And because I called him on it, he's kind of passive aggressive, right? He kind of backed off a little bit. And I said, I have no problem leaving. Seriously, I'll go. And he's like, no, go ahead. So I do this reading. And I said, okay, I'm going to do a reading for us. And I said, what I'll do is I said to her, what sign are you? And she says, I'm an Aries. And I said, I'm an Aries. It makes me laugh because my twin's mother is a Gemini and I'm a Gemini rising, right? And I said, what sign are you? And he said, I'm a Taurus. So he's an earth sign. And I said, okay. And I said, I'm an Aries too. My twin is a Pisces, but he's in an earth moon, right? He's in a Virgo moon. And I don't know what the parents' moons are, so they could be that or whatever. So I said, let's just do signs. So what we got first was, autumn is my last chance. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole reading with you guys, but basically what it ended up being was a reading for him and her, but mostly him. He tells me at the end of, you know, as we're going through this, I used these cards and everything was so accurate. Everything was so dead on that they were both kind of like, oh, like their mouth was falling open. And they didn't, now they were like in, and he was in. He's like, I want to hear this. So he was talking about work. And basically what's going on is this guy works for the film industry, right? He works, and he's having a problem with a partner, and that was what he needed to cut the person off. The partner was I said, basically this, autumn is my last chance. Hi, Uncle Phil. Autumn is my last chance. I said, it's gonna be a cold day in hell before you get what you're waiting for. You're not gonna get it. They're blowing smoke up your ass. Your partner is taking from you what is yours, what you've worked hard for, and it's time to cut and run. You need to cut. You need to take your sword, and you're not somebody who likes to fight, but you need to say, I'm done. You need to cut your cords, cut off what's going on. I dreamed this in my dream last night. Oh, my twin's watching me. I dreamed the whole thing. It's a trip. Watching everything I'm saying right now. So he starts to tell me how they are super in debt. They have a shitload of debt, and that's why they need to sell it. They're just going to get a trailer, probably because they're going to put their shit in their trailer and go back east. He says, I need to go back to Georgia. I said, my friend Sandy's in Georgia. I've got friends in Georgia. And I said, why? He says, well, he says, I've got this idea. He's got a film he's going to do, and he's got these really great ideas. And he's frustrated because harvest has come and gone, and he's not made his fortune. He's so consumed on money. He wants to make money, money, money. And he knows he's got something good, but he's not working here, not working well. Then she says that her mother is driving them crazy. Her mother is overstepping the boundaries. And I said, there's the chords. There is the storm angel that came up, a clash of beliefs and decisions and ideas, right? The grandmother is causing all kinds, hates him, wants him gone. And so there's problems with that. And I said, you need to go. Basically, you're going to have an idea that's going to happen in the next couple of days. And you're going to get an epiphany. And you're going to run with it. And I said, right now, Spirit says to wait. We want you to wait. Don't do anything. Somebody wants to apologize. You're going to have an idea. You're going to move forward. What you have in your hand, this idea, it's there. But you're afraid to do it. You're afraid to go. You're afraid to make the move. Spirit says move. Move on it. Right? The wife says, let's go, let's go. Then something else comes up. I'm not going to go. So I'm encouraging them to go. I said, you know what you need to do? You need to not sell this motorhome. You need to leave this house, pack your shit, and go back east, where your family's going to be taken care of, where you've got support. He's got family back there. He's got friends that are saying, come back, I'll help you. You know, you need to go, but he's afraid to do it. So she wants to do it. So it's basically showing me what happened with my twins' whole family, right? Basically is what I'm seeing. So I do these cards. The little cards. And what I get is sex, friends with more, I'm sorry, apologize. I mean, and I'm going, oh shit. I'm watching something and I'm like, okay, this is really touchy. So I'm standing till he starts getting stiff, right? And I'm thinking he's had an affair. Now, whenever I would talk to him and tell him these things, his eyes would fill up with tears. He's very sensitive. He's a very sensitive man. She's an Aries. She's tough like me, right? I got to tell you something. I said, what have you named her? The vehicle, going back to the vehicle. And she said, she's a beast, man. She's a badass beast. And I said, she's a big bad bitch, eh? And she said, yeah. And I said, I know what I would call her. I would call her the Queen Bee. She's a big bad bitch. And what I got was the Queen Bee's been overthrown. Okay? That's just a side point. Someone's going to pick up on this. So, But this man is extremely sensitive, he cries very easily. And every time he did, she would reach out to him. She loves him. Now, I said, how long have you been married? Now I'm going to tell you guys. I watched in my dreams, someone that I'm connected to, their friend was their best friend. They used to date their best friend, and their best friend got married. And they were at the wedding, and they kind of remained friends a little bit, but there was something going on between the person I'm connected to and the friend. There was something going on there. And so when I see the sex, more friends, probably more, I'm just like, okay, somebody's cheated. And he got really stiff, and he was the man with the tears in his eyes. I asked him what nationality. He said, I'm Cherokee. I know what I'm seeing. Okay, so I started to realize what I'm watching, and she kind of looks at him, and he's very uncomfortable. And I said, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be personal, but Spirit says that this needs to be said. And I literally got, say it like it is. Remember I said don't cover anything up? Fucking spit it out. Say it like it is. It'll go better for you if you do. And then she says, it's him. And she goes, that's what he's thinking. And he starts to cry. And I said, I'm sorry, I don't understand. And she said, it's my ex. My ex wants back in my life. He wants me back. And he flirts with me, and he's friendly. And he thinks I'm cheating on him. And so I was laying cards down the whole time. And I said, she's not cheating on you. She loves you. She's friends, but he wants something more. And what I got was Voodoo and Blue. This was his message to the ex. Stay the fuck away from my family. You're too close. And remember, I kept getting too aggressive, slow down. Her ex is too aggressive, and you need to say to your ex, and I said to her, you need to say to your ex, you're being too aggressive. You need to slow down, right? This is my husband. I love my husband. And the problem was, she's an Aries. She's friendly. She talks to people, and that's that energy. He thought there was more going on. Well, in my dream, what I watched was this person who married this other person, they did still keep something going. He still had these feelings for his ex, even though she was married to this other guy. And he ended up being friends with this other guy, right? So it's kind of a touchy situation. This man also ended up being friends with her ex because they had kids together. So because they all have, this arrangement going on, but now it's getting touchy because he's like, I don't know what I am. And he says, what am I? Just here to pay for them or support them? And I said, you're here because you were chosen. She chose you. She doesn't want to be with her ex. He's flirting with her. She doesn't want him. She loves you. But she's not been strong enough. She needs to say to him, look, you're being too aggressive. You need to slow down. This is my husband. I chose you. How many years ago do you think they got married? 5. Just like in my dream. 5 years ago, they got married.
So my twin might have gotten married 5 years ago. I'm the ex, and I'm too aggressive. Slow down. I don't know. I didn't realize he'd gotten married. He told me he got married. I may be looking at someone else, but this is why I'm reconsidering things in my life. I'm being very open and honest with you guys because that's what I do, right? So he's crying, and I'm feeling the energy between this. Okay, what I just heard in my head was Pisces and Aries, so I don't know who I'm looking at then, I guess. I'm looking at her, and I'm resonating with her. Now, remember I said my best friend and I, everybody thinks my best friend and I are the same person. So this person, this whole story is my twin's friend. It's not my twin. It's my twin's friend. And he's friends with her. But she's friends with her ex too, right? And the thing is, what I watched in my dreams is she's not leaving. She flirts with everyone. She's friendly with everyone. Now, you may call it flirting. We may call it friendly. Aries people are friendly people. We're outgoing. We talk to other people. But I said, I will tell you, and I said to her husband, I will tell you I'm an Aries too. And we are fucking loyal. I don't know how many other Aries are out there, but I am loyal to a fault. I said, I've never cheated on anyone in my life, not even in my mind. I am focused like a rabid pit bull on what I want. And my loyalty and devotion is, I am devout. And she said, that is how I feel. And I said, well, you could feel that way, but he needs to know this. He needs to know this, and he needs to see you tell your ex to back the fuck off. Because this is who I want. This is who I chose. And she held his hand. He was crying. And she said, I love you. I chose you. And he says, well, what am I to these kids? And I said, what are you to these kids? And he goes, I love them. And I said, you're in their life for a reason. You're a wonderful person. And what you need to do is you need to pack your shit up and you need to go back east where you've got support and where you've got family. And then he tells me, I need to tell you the truth. I said, okay. He says, we're both recovering addicts. Drugs and alcohol, both of us. I've been clean 10 years. She's been clean 5. 5 years when she married that person. Clean 5 years. Okay? And he says, her ex was her dealer. And she was getting clean. And I said, and I was her sponsor. And I said, you don't need this shit. And she left that guy and went to the one who was her sponsor. And the dealer is the ex who wants her back. She doesn't want the dealer, right? And these kids are his. So I said, okay, pack up your shit, go back east. She said, my mom's back there. I mean, no, his dad's back there. Her mom's a nightmare. And they're going to go back east and start his work. I said, the voodoo and blue is to your ex. The 3 witchy sisters, that's telling you the energy that needs to be swept away. Autumn is your last chance. No, it's not. Spirit says this is what you got in your hand, and what you got in your hand is going to work back there. And he says, but this is the perfect house. This is a perfect house. I said, it might be the perfect house, but it's not the perfect spot. You got to get away from her mother. You got to get away from your her ex. You got to get away from your business partner who's fucking you over. It's time to go, right? Clean up this mildew. These are all the cards they got. And that was the reading. And he came up and hugged me. She came up and hugged me. They were crying. She said, fuck, take the camper. Just take it. And she goes, you came here for us. And right then he said, look, there's the full moon. And we looked up and we all howled at the moon. We all howled at the moon. And I said, this is not just a full moon. And now I got to tell you, before the whole sex thing came out, before I did that last spread, I said, do you know what the full moon means? I said, everything is about to be exposed. That's when I talked about this. He got scared because I said, everything is about to come out. Everything is going to be illuminated under the full moon. But the moon sometimes casts shadows. But when an eclipse comes through, your life's going to change. Everything is going to be changed. And when the storm angel comes, which is me sitting here right now, I'm here. I'm about to uncover something. And all lies, deception, and untruth is about to be uncovered. So you might as well speak your truth. And so I did the spread, and that's why he was stepping on both feet. He was so fucking nervous. And she was just kind of looking. And it's interesting to me because in all reality, I feel like his energy was nervous, but she was the one that was probably guilty because I watched it in my dream. I watched the woman or the one that had the friend that got married. That's the one that was flirting, right? And it was more. It was friends with probably more. So I said, it's time for you, and they both got it. One said, apologize. One said, I'm sorry. And I said, that's both of you right now. You need to apologize to him, and you need to say you're sorry for not trusting her. You need to apologize for him for not making it clear to your ex, I don't want anything more. And you need to say you're sorry for not trusting her, because I did a spread, and I said she didn't have sex with him. She didn't cheat on him. She did flirt with him, and she enjoyed the attention, but it didn't go farther than that. And it's your mistrust from the past that is causing you to have this excruciating pain. And he says, I don't feel like I belong. I don't feel, and I said, you don't feel worthy. And then he told me, I've done everything my whole life for everyone. No one's ever done anything to help me. He says, I had a little brother that died and I couldn't help it. I couldn't stop it. Do you remember the story that I watched? The person, why are you standing there that way? And I always thought it was my twin. It was probably my twin's father. Or his stepfather. Why are you standing there like that in your suit with water up to your waist? Won't it ruin your suit? It'll dry out. What happened? A man hurt a child, and I wasn't able to stop him. The same exact thing has happened in this family. He said I couldn't stop it, and I said, I need to tell you something else, just like my client. Remember? Everybody comes here for a purpose. I said, your little brother, that was his plan. He goes, what do you mean? And I said, where do you think we came to before we came here? Now, I got to tell you this. This guy said to me, do you know what the New Jerusalem is? And I said, no. He wants to do a film on the New Jerusalem. I'm just leaving it at that, right? I'm just leaving it at that. So the man is aware of the Bible, and he's a religious person. So this could be my twin. What I felt was this was my twin's uncle's family, or like, step family. So like my Mama Sherry and Uncle Phil, and all of them. But I said, my little sister died in a car accident at 16. My parents could not let go of the grief. My mother would not stop blaming herself. She literally ended up dying of cancer because she couldn't let go of the guilt. She says it was my fault that my daughter ran away. It was my fault, and she ended up getting killed in a car accident. She was gonna die anyway because that was her plan. We come as spirit creatures, right? And we have a path. And our path says, well, this time when I go down, depends on how many lives you've lived here. I never believed in past lives before, you guys. I grew up a Jehovah's Witness. I told him that, and he goes, oh my God, I was a Jehovah's Witness. My dad was an elder in the congregation. I left the truth years ago, and I'm just like, holy shit. Holy shit. So then I told him my story. I said, I was raised, I married my best friend. When I loved him, I ran away. My parents were angry with me. My mom ended up chasing him away. He came back after years later. I didn't take him back. I ended up marrying the one of their choice. That one abused me for 10 years. Then I married, I told him the whole story, everything about everything. And he's just like, the same story. And I said, my little sister wanted to see me. My dad said, don't go see her. And because she'll come home if you don't talk to her, she'll come home. What happens? She ends up getting in a car accident. She had asked me before if she could move in with me. My ex-husband wouldn't let her come. And for years, I believed that she wouldn't have died if I had allowed her to come live with me. She wouldn't have died if I had gone to see her because she would have been with me. But I needed to see, and this is my healing too. We have a life plan. My little sister's plan was to live until the age of 16. That was it. That was her plan. She needed to experience that. Everything that happened from that point forward and how it affected everyone else was our life's plan. How my dad how I chose to live and how he would respond and what he would go through. How my mom did, how I did. I was to watch their examples and realize I'm not going to kill myself holding on to this grief and this pain. Remember when I was driving down that freeway with that big motherfucker behind me and I went to take the corner and I almost rolled? I could have rolled that camper, but I'm not going to roll the camper because I was able to, at the last minute, get those spongy brakes to stop that camper from rolling. I'm not going to carry all that dead weight behind me and roll my truck the way my mom and dad did. My mom died of cancer. My dad is so filled with grief and anger and bitterness that he's very unhappy and he shuts everybody out of his life. I'm not going to do that, right? All of these are how Spirit helps us out. We're all doing this. So in the end of it all, they're going to move back where they have support systems. She wants to work on it with him. She's going to tell her ex to fuck off. He told the truth. Everything was laid on the table, and I said, this is the Heyoka. I'm being the Heyoka, tricking you into telling one another. She looked at him when he said, well, this is her. I think she slept with him. And she goes, what? You've never said that before. And I said, but he needed to. He needed to tell you so that this could be all on the table so you could understand what was going on. And now you need to tell him what the truth of the matter is. You need to realize what happened. By you allowing your ex to flirt with you like that And by you flirting with your ex, your husband was being undermined, and your ex felt like you wanted him back. But that wasn't the case. You wanted attention. Because why? Because your husband's so consumed with work and so consumed with doing all of this. I said, do you know how overwhelmed your husband is? He is so overwhelmed. He has a family and 2 kids to take care of, and his business is failing, and you've got an ex that's breathing down your neck, and you're flirting with him. Your marriage is going to fall apart. Your mother's driving you crazy. You need to get away from your triggers. And I said, I was told with my twin, when he gets away from his triggers, he'll be 98% cured. Well, do you know what he asked me right before I said that? Can you look and see what about my health? He's so worried that he's fucked up his health. Another thing, he's helping his brother. His brother, he says, my brother, I had to kick him out of the house. It was a nightmare. But I'm paying his rent. He is ill. Why is he ill? He had a liver transplant because he fucked his liver up so bad. I'm just sitting here. My mind is blown by the comparisons and the mirrors that I'm watching. But now he's worried about his health. And I said, I was told, because you're a mirror for someone in my life, maybe his father, maybe him. You're worried about your health. And you've had a scare and you're wondering if you're going to recover. You will 98% recover. And he kind of looks away. And I said, dude, we're all dying. 98% recovery is safe. And then I did these, and I kept getting, you are safe. You are safe. Let go. You're safe. Let go. I mean, it was amazing, you guys. It was fucking phenomenal and amazing. They were crying. I was crying. They hugged me. I said, I didn't come here for the camper. I came here for this. And he said, you came here for me. And I'm just like, man. And I don't know, you know. And right now, I got to think about things because I'm looking at somebody who in my life went off and his best friend that he used to have date married a guy. He ended up being friends with that person and still had feelings, and they still were fooling around, and that's not okay with me. That's not okay with me. So I'm thinking here. I'm reevaluating and reconsidering things here. I've never cheated on anybody in my life. I understand people having breakdowns. I understand people having addiction issues, going to, alcoholism, drug addiction. I understand all kinds of stuff like that. But when you cheat with somebody, when they're married and you're friends with their husband, that's a problem for me. That's a big problem for me. So I didn't get the camper. You guys can rewind and watch this. I'm going to do the weekly reading. Can somebody tell me how far we're into this? And I wish Sandy, is Sandy there? I can't remember if Sandy is there. Sandy, are you there? Doesn't look like she's there. Can somebody tell me how far we are into the reading? Because I wonder if I need to stop it and start again. Yeah, pretty amazing. And I got to tell you, I loved her. I loved her. Now, remember I said I keep jumping back and forth. That person sitting in that vehicle next to me was not my twin. That person sitting in the vehicle next to me was my twin's friend. And I have been in a relationship with someone, a best friend of mine. She had kids with somebody before, and she carried on an affair with this younger man that worked for her husband. And I said to her, I'm sorry, I can't be friends with you anymore. I can't. It's not okay. If you're not happy in your marriage, you need to leave your marriage. But I can't be friends with your husband and know, I can't be friends with you knowing that you're cheating on your husband with someone that works for him. I can't. That's not who I am. That's not my I'm sorry. I love you. She was my best friend. I grew up with her. She died of cancer several years ago. And so this is what I'm watching, right? And when I looked at her, I said, I loved her. That energy, I felt love for her. I loved my friend. And she was just too comfortable with the money. She wanted the money. She says, I'm not like you. You can go live in a room and you're fine with it. I can't. I'm used to nice things. I'm used to beautiful things. And I said, you don't think I like beautiful things? I was raised by a father who's Midas. My dad's got more money than God. He's got a safe that's just, he will never in his entire life be able to spend the money he's got. My mother was a princess of quite a lot, right? I've lived with a lot of money. It wasn't my money, it was my dad's, but I grew up with a lot of money. We went to Hawaii every summer for 2 months. For 2 months every summer. We went to Hawaii, we went to Europe, I grew up with a lot of money. It doesn't mean I don't like nice things. It means I have standards. and I'm not going to sell my soul to the devil. I'm not going to live with someone and have sex with someone that I'm not in love with while I'm having sex or even just an emotional affair with someone else. I don't care. I only had sex with him once. I don't care that you only had sex with him once. You are continuing this emotional relationship with this person when your husband fucking loves you. He loves you. He would give you everything. He loves you. And you're continuing this. It's not okay. And I broke our friendship off. That's when she got cancer, and that's when she died. I never saw her again. We've made up in my dreams. She's come to me. You know, I understand that was her life's path. I get it. But this is my life's path. And my life's path is I stand in my integrity. And I'm loyal. And I can't be friends with someone who is doing that. I can't. So I'm saying all of this because there are other people that have this. 53 minutes? Okay, good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stop this, and I'm going to start it up again, and I'm going to do the weekly reading. And I will take some messages for, you know, I'll do some readings for other people. I was hoping that Sandy was there, and if she's not, if somebody else wants to be my secretary to keep track, that would be very helpful for me. So I'm going to end it right now, and if you guys want to come back on, I'll give you a little bit of time. It's right now, it's 11:28, so give me till like 11:30, and I'll grab myself my vitamins and my water, and I'll come back, okay? I love you guys. Bye.